Welcome to Astrodology, the podcast that brings you knowledge, wisdom, and principles that can help you find the peace and comfort we all seek and deserve in our lives. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm here today to talk about the importance of space clearing. My wonderful son found an amazing cute little bungalow here in San Diego in Ocean Beach, so I'm excited for him. And what's really cool is that my son is allowing me to help him energy cleanse, that he is open and receptive to the idea that it should even be done and that it exists. So I thought I'd take this opportunity because I'm always talking about the importance of cleansing your environment and yourself. So this gives me a great opportunity. Now what's wonderful is that he doesn't have his furniture or anything in here yet. So I'm doing the deep dive for him. You know, they clean as places do when you move in, but I am going to go into deepness. And so I'll show you what I'm doing. My inspiration comes from this book, Crystal Muse. These ladies have changed my life. Energy Muse, I bought their jewelry probably 20 some years ago when they first started, when they blew it with their jewelry. But this is Timmy and Heather Aquinoise, and I love their work. So I'm using two rituals. I'm using a space clearing and a spiritual cleansing. You need to clear the space and then you need to spiritually cleanse it. So one of the first things I'm going to do is bless the place, you know, with a prayer just for the person that lived here before, the people that lived here before, that wherever they move to, they will be happy and healthy, and to thank the place for welcoming my son and looking out for him as well. So the pre, I call this the pre. So the lady suggests that we use sea salt, lemon, and just white distilled vinegar. I'm going to put this in a bucket, hot water, and this I'm going to go through each room and cleanse down the window sills, the doors, walls, anything. I'm also going to do the floor in each place. So lemon, sea salt, and white distilled vinegar. They give the ratio in the book. You can take a look at that. Once I've done that type of cleaning, then I come in with my spiritual cleansing stuff. So I've done the space stuff. I have my charcoal, my mini charcoal in my safe container, and I will be burning copal. So as I am going through with Palo Santo and sage, I will start with sage. Sage is the mother lode, and sage is so pungent, but you want sage in a situation like this. I'll follow up with some Palo Santo sticks because Palo Santo is also clearing and protecting, and it just smells so good. So copal, it's a resin, and I love this particular copal from the House of Intuition. Again, I'm not getting paid for any of this, but I just love their brand, okay? So I'll put copal on my charcoal once it's heated, and I'll set this. I'll take it through each room in his place. I love what I call to do finishers. I love the smell of scent. So I found these scents. These are the ones that I ascribe to right now. I'm always trying different things, but this one comes from the Sacred Wild. It's a protection spray, smokeless smudge, Palo Santo, and sage. Again, when it's liquefied, it brings a different element. It's going to smell so good. I love Little Shop of Oils. I love her product so much. This is pure Palo Santo, again, in spray form. So if you can't use smoke, if for some reason you're unable to use the OGs and burn, you can also use sprays. She also makes a delicious, this has black tourmaline infused sage. So you can also spray, again, because this is a new space, I'm doing the mother lode today. So I'm using smoke and water. And this helps me bring in the 4 elements as well. And I'll tell you why, where they come in. So I've got my fire with my charcoal, and then we'll talk about another. And then Spirit Guide, this brand, Luna Plus Quartz, I love this. I spray this throughout. So when I deliver the sprays, I use my chapata just to deliver it throughout the environment and the space. That's what this is for. So I've got my sprays. So I have cleansed physically with vinegar. You know, my grandmothers, my aunts, back in the day, this is an old school remedy to cleanse with vinegar. And especially with so many cleansers having pollutants and toxins in them, However, saying that, in the bathrooms and in the kitchen, I'm going to use hot water and bleach. I'm not messing around. Clear all the bacteria, etc. Okay, so that's the chapala, that's this. And then after that, after I've done the cleansing, with that, I'm gonna bring in sound. I've got my little chime here. I love this, it radiates. And then there's 2 ways to play this. And then I have my Tibetan bell. This bell was made, it was hand carved, comes from Tibet, and Tibetan bells are used in feng shui. So I'm literally taking principles from my spiritual and metaphysical world and feng shui, but bells, any kind of sound, this bell is specifically made to break up any patterns or any kind of spiritual or dark energy. So I'll be using that. So after I've done all my sprayed, I've done my finishers, I'll wrap it up with sound. Part of the closing procedure too will be, I have these jars. This is a recommendation from the book. And I'll take 5 jars, 5 mason jars, fill them with water, and then pour Himalayan pink sea salt in here with a piece of black tourmaline. Again, black tourmaline absorbs negative energy. So the idea is I'll put the black tourmaline inside the jar with the water, and I will leave the lid off. I will place these in strategic parts throughout his home and just let them sit open. The rule is let it sit for 24 hours so that the tourmaline can absorb it. After the 24 hours, we simply pour the salt water down the toilet, flush it so it goes away, and it's gone and gone. So I have 5 jars that I'll be using throughout the space as well. And then now we talk about the fine tuning. These are the host items that I will do. I'm gonna use this candle. I've never tried it before, but it smells good. A friend of mine bought it from me and said it's great. So I will have my son burn this starting tonight, and then he'll let it burn until it finishes out. This is something, again, I learned from the House of Intuition ladies. When you're working with certain spiritual work, you want the candle to burn all the way down if possible. So when he leaves, I'm going to ask him to put this in the sink or in the bathtub so it stays safe. So black opium and any of your black candles is going to clear and ground and anchor the space. And then I'll leave him with this so you can see where I got my kettle. I have a few of these left in my shop. But these are wonderful because this is the candle I burned through. This is protection. So it's got black obsidian, it's got lavender, and it's got other herbs in it. So once he burns this down, so I'm just going to suggest that he keep this near the front door because it's protecting, it's cute. And then when he feels like it, like once a week at least, burn this candle as a regular maintenance thing. Other maintenance things that will stay in place, I'm going to ask him to keep this in place, is obsidian. Obsidian blocks negative energy. Inevitably, we're going to bring energy home that's less than stellar, but obsidian helps to block it. So I'll put probably this chunk at his back door. And then these are 3 different types of obsidian. I've got 2 types of snowflake obsidian, and then I've got like a banded obsidian. And I'll put these on the table near one of his doors so it looks good, and I call this sneaking in the healing, so that no activity even comes. Obsidian blocks it before it even hits in the direction of it. Also, what I'm gonna do that are a little less conspicuous are these little clusters. I have amethyst, clear quartz, tourmaline, and selenite. I love to do a bundle like this. Ideally, I'd have a piece of obsidian, but this is going to be fine because amethyst and tourmaline clear negative energy, and they're both protective stones. So I'll probably put a little cluster in the living room, the bedroom, and then maybe in the kitchen area, we'll see. But that's what these are for. So these will stay in place. I'm going to ask him to put them on little jars or little dishes, and they can stay in place, or we can put them up. He has some window seals or the way the windows are finished, we can even place them above on top there. Okay, so that's that. And last but not least, so I brought these for him. I'm going to place this amethyst chunk somewhere because amethyst anchors a space. I'm going to take this tourmaline. This will probably go near the back door or near a window. I'll decide where this goes once we finish and every furniture's in place. The final things I will do is I will burn some Palo Santo incense. Incense is a great way to keep your energy space clear. I'm going to leave this incense holder with my son. I love it. It's wide, it's thick, it catches the ash. And so I'm going to recommend that, maybe on a weekly basis, maybe daily, especially when work gets stressful. He works from home, to light incense. It's a simple, quick, easy way to anchor your energy and to calm down your central nervous system. So he'll have this ongoing. And then selenite. I love selenite so much. It calms down the central nervous system. Just by holding it, it starts to bring you peace. But it's a cleanser. Selenite is a mother lode. You can clear your crystals. So I'm going to suggest my son, with the crystals that I'm leaving him, that every now and then, at least a month or so, that he puts these on selenite. Because as these crystals are absorbing energy, you have to cleanse that out of them. So you can set it on a piece of selenite. You can also use sage or Palo Santo. So I'll recommend him 2 ways. So he can cleanse them with the selenite, or he can put them in the palm of his hands with the fingers open and let that sage smoke go underneath it to cleanse. So I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. Red is a color that grounds and protects. So we're going to strategically place these somewhere. They smell so good. So maybe in the bathroom, maybe one in the bedroom, because they just smell so good and they will anchor the space. And what am I missing here? I think that's it, everybody. So clearing the energy is so important. If you're not moving into a new place, I highly suggest that you do kind of a deep cleanse, at least seasonally. So he's moving at the perfect time because it's springtime. We just entered spring. We're still in Aries season. So I love it. Aries bringing the energy, the fire. I love Aries energy. It's about taking action. So it's spring. So every quarter, spring, summer, winter, fall, you should energy cleanse your space. You don't have to do the vinegar and the lemon always, but I would at least do the what I call the wet and the dry. So bringing in all the elements into your cleansing is important. I've got fire with the candles. So the candles represent the fire element. I've got air from the smoke from the Palo Santo sticks and the sage, as well as the incense. I've got the water element in with my sprays. My sprays are going to anchor the water element. And of course, I've got earth with all of my various crystals that we'll be using and placing. So every windowsill will get a piece of selenite. This is just a quick thing you can do no matter what. Place a piece of selenite. You can get the longer bars, but these should be sufficient. You put them in every windowsill, and that protects and holds the space. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Blessings. If you need help, just DM me, text me, email me, and I'm happy. But this is one of the things that I do on the side. I don't even talk about it, but I love space clearing. It's one of my favorite things that I do in my life. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Namaste. Thank you for listening to Astrodology. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support the podcast, please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends about it by sharing this program on social media. You can also follow me on Instagram at Coda Life Goddess or at codalife.com. Coda is C-O-T-A, Coda Life Goddess or codalife.com. Thank you again for listening to Astrodology, and I'll see you next time.